Hi, my name is Shorby, and I will explain what a home UPS system is. This is Invertech's smallest home UPS system, which comprises of a 1000-watt inverter charger and two 225 amps deep cycle battery. This equipment will automatically and instantly switch on during a blackout, so that your appliances keep running. It is capable of running all your lights, TVs, fans, security cameras, computers, gate motors, etc. for around 6 to 8 hours. And if you need more time, more batteries may be added. Also, you may use a big inverter for a larger home. This is how it works. The current comes in from GPL into the inverter and then out again to your breaker panel, where your appliances get power from. When there is a blackout, the inverter instantly switches on to pull current from the deep cycle batteries connected. So to cause a blackout, I will disconnect power. And let's observe how fast the automatic switchover operates. Here goes a blackout. As you can see, that we are now running on battery power for the next 6 to 8 hours, and our appliances did not suffer a blackout. When the current returns, the equipment will automatically confirm that voltage and frequency are normal. Then automatically switch back to the power company. Then it will charge your batteries until full and wait for another blackout. Invertech will help you to add solar panels to the system so that it becomes a full solar setup that uses only the sun to power your home. We have our intelligent equipment that can even switch off GPL automatically and use solar power alone to run your house. This is designed to reduce your light bill significantly. Thank you guys for your time today. Remember, we are located at 58 David Street, PT. Our numbers are 223-2233 or 695-9191.
EXXON announces yet another oil discovery. Man nabbed with marijuana at police checkpoint. Gold miner stabbed and later died during an attempted robbery at KANEVILLE. In the region, thousands of migrants crossed into Chile despite border controls, and internationally, in this dengue outbreak, more than 100 people died in 2 weeks. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. ExxonMobil on Thursday announced yet another oil discovery at Pinktail in the Stabroek Block, offshore Guyana, and the sail away of leased entity floating production storage and offloading vessel. The Pinktail well encountered 220 feet of high pay in net quality hydrocarbon-bearing sandstone reservoirs. The discovery is located southeast of the Liza Phase 1 project near previous discoveries. Additionally, an appraisal of the Turbo Discovery Turbo 2 well encountered 43 feet of net pay. This was identified in a new reservoir separate from the 75 feet of high-quality oil-bearing sandstone reservoir pay encountered in the original Turbo 1 discovery well. The Pinktail discovery will add to the previous recoverable estimate of approximately 9 billion oil equivalent barrels. The leased entity floating production storage and offloading vessel set sail from Singapore to Guyana in early September. It is expected to start production in early 2022 with a capacity to produce approximately 220,000 barrels of oil a day. ExxonMobil anticipates at least 6 projects online by 2027 and sees potential for up to 10 projects to develop its current recoverable resource base. A gold miner was stabbed and eventually died during an attempted robbery in KANEVILLE last evening. Here's Esther Sobers with that story.
A 36-year-old gold miner was stabbed to death at KANEVILLE East Bank, Demerara. During an attempted robbery on Thursday night, dead is Nelson Thomas, called Nello, of Fort Field, Kaneville, East Bank, Demerara. Thomas died whilst trying to flee from robbers just hours after returning with his wife from Cayuni to register their newborn baby. Headline News visited the scene of the crime where the victim fell and died after the attack. There's a lot of crimes that happen in this area.
Yeah, a lot of robbery and all kind of things, but I don't know what to say, because when the police them come and pick up the people them, well, after that you see them on the road again, and so I wasn't able to see what really going on.
According to police, the deceased was returning home when the suspects attempted to rob and stab him in the process. The dead man lived in Kaneville with his wife and his mother, but worked in the interior. Thomas and his wife returned earlier in the day after spending some time in Cayuni to have their newborn baby registered. Investigations revealed that around 7 p.m., the deceased told his mother that he was going to visit his uncle in 2nd Street, Kaneville, East Bank, Demerara. According to the police report, a resident stated that at 9:30 p.m., he was awakened by the voice of someone calling for him. Upon checking, he saw the now deceased lying motionless to the eastern side of the yard under a shed attached to his house with what appears to be blood about his body. He called the police and reported the matter. The body was transferred to Diamond Public Hospital and confirmed dead upon arrival. The body is currently at the Memorial Gardens Funeral Parlor awaiting a post-mortem examination. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Silvers.
Thanks, Esther. Yuri Garcia Dominguez, the Cuban national accused of falsifying his COVID-19 test results and facing a series of fraud charges related to an alleged Ponzi scheme, was released on $200,000 bail today. Dominguez appeared before City Magistrate Leron Daly and was not required to enter a plea to the charge that he conspired with known and unknown persons on July 27th in Georgetown to falsify a COVID-19 test result to show that he was positive for the virus. Dominguez's wife, Akita Ishmael, was charged with the same offense and was released on $200,000 bail on August 20th. The duo was to appear in court to answer to fraud charges. However, their attorney Dexter Todd submitted medical documents that his client had tested positive for COVID-19 and could not appear. The police conducted investigations into the authenticity of the medical documents and found them to be fake. Dominguez and his wife are accused of soliciting millions of dollars from hundreds of unsuspecting Guyanese who were enticed by extraordinary returns of approximately 40%. Investors were also encouraged to enlist additional investors on a 10% commission basis. Dominguez will return to court on November 5th, while his wife will return to court on September 10, 2021. Don't go away after the break. Man nabbed with marijuana at police checkpoint and pastor charged with the murder of Delroy McKenzie.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
For decades, milk has remained the same, until now. Introducing the Great Dairy Full Cream Milk from Alabama Trading. Enriched with vitamins A to D and calcium to promote healthy teeth, strong bones, and vitality. Great Dairy milk is delicious and fortified to encourage healthy cell growth within the body. No wonder it's the #1 brand of milk produced in Ireland. Now available nationwide in 400-gram packages at leading supermarkets and wholesale vendors. Distributed by Alabama Trading.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop price smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road, Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. 26-year-old Seymour Mitchell, called pastor of Phase 1B Wisrock Linden, appeared at the Linden Magistrates Court today charged with the murder of Delroy McKenzie at Sunflower Street, Wisma, Linden on July 17, 2021. Mitchell was not allowed to plead to the charge and was remanded to prison. According to the police report, McKenzie and his friend Calvin Daly left Georgetown to visit a female friend in Linden on the day in question. They arrived about 9 p.m. The now dead man was then given directions by his female friend to join a boat at the boat landing. Upon their arrival at Wisma Shore, the woman told him to walk up the road through Sunflower Street. They proceeded to a bridge, then through a short cross street. Mackenzie then received another call from the woman. She told him to turn around. She was sending a silver wagon for him. They walked up the street and saw the car. As Mackenzie approached the car to open the back door, a man opened the front passenger door and started to shoot at him, while another man opened fire as well. Daly ran for cover, leaving Mackenzie behind. The shooters then drove away. Mackenzie was discovered motionless on the ground with several gunshot wounds. He was taken to the Linden Hospital complex but was pronounced dead on arrival. Daly received 2 gunshot wounds on his left and right lower arms. He was taken to the Linden Hospital complex and was subsequently transferred to the Georgetown Public Hospital for surgery. The next day, the police found a burnt silver grey field wagon at Blue Lake Access Road in Linden. The vehicle was suspected to be the one used in the shooting. Following an investigation, Mitchell was arrested and charged. He will return to court on October 8, 2021. During a search at a police checkpoint, a guy was apprehended by the Ghana Police Force for a minuscule amount of cannabis. Esther Sobers has more on that story.
After being stopped at a checkpoint at Orange Tyne Public Road, East Bank, Essequibo on Wednesday with marijuana in his possession, a 35-year-old man is now in police custody. According to reports, police were performing a roadblock exercise on the public road when the suspect, who was driving his minibus, approached the roadblock. Upon stopping, a search was conducted, during which several leaves, seeds, and stems suspected to be cannabis were found in the black strap bag that he was wearing at the time. The man was told of the offense, arrested, and cautioned, to which he responded, quote, "Officer, you are a demon," end quote. The man was taken to the station where the cannabis was weighed and amounted to 3.7 grams. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Don't go away after the break. Thousands of migrants crossed into Chile despite border controls, and Biden announces new vaccine requirements in the U.S. to combat COVID. But before that, here is the bridge retraction schedule.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop Through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop price smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
For decades, milk has remained the same. Until now. Introducing the Great Dairy Full Cream Milk from Alabama Trading. Enriched with vitamins A to D and calcium to promote healthy teeth, strong bones, and vitality. Great Dairy Milk is delicious and fortified to encourage healthy cell growth within the body. No wonder it's the #1 brand of milk produced in Ireland. Now available nationwide in 400-gram packages at leading supermarkets and wholesale vendors. Distributed by Alabama Trading.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. Thousands of migrants from all over Latin America are undertaking one of the most difficult journeys to cross into Chile. Its economy has rebounded more quickly from the pandemic than its neighbors, and many hope to find work there. But Chile's government says they are not welcome. Al Jazeera's Lucia Newman has this report.
Every single day and night, they cross into Chile through one of the most inhospitable environments imaginable. It's well below freezing, at nearly 4,000 meters above sea level, when we find a new group of 10 Venezuelans who've just entered Colchane after 4 days in the Atacama Desert.
What's the hardest part? When a child asks you for water or food and you don't have any. When they ask, when will we arrive? And you don't know.
Children vomit, others faint or have convulsions because of altitude sickness, like Gisnail Aguilera. She's a Venezuelan who, like many, has come from neighboring Peru.
There was no work anymore. Money had become worthless, just like in Venezuela. It was a terrible situation we had to live in, but it's for my children. I had to leave my other child behind in Peru with my mother.
Although Chile's border has been closed since March, thousands of undocumented migrants have managed to escape border controls. Captain Cristobal Verdugo offers them a tent to spend the night at the local police station. While the majority of Venezuelans, Peruvians, Ecuadorians, Cubans, and Colombians are also arriving by the thousands, preferring to walk for weeks and take their chances in Chile rather than in the United States. Jair Romero shows his papers indicating he's an internally displaced refugee from Colombia.
I was with my wife when I saw someone who was trying to forcibly recruit me again. I said we have to leave. I just wanted to see if it's true that other governments will help us.
But Chile's government says it has no intention of letting these migrants stay. In the last 3 weeks, some 6,000 undocumented migrants have been vetted for COVID-19, vaccinated, and allowed to stay in Chile, but only temporarily.
We are going to continue carrying out expulsions. We have 20,000 cases ready to be deported, although we are checking case by case should they have extenuating circumstances. But we must discourage irregular migration.
Some of the new arrivals leave for the capital where they have friends or family. Those with neither and no money end up here. But whether they know it or not, all of them will face new hardships in a country that says they don't belong here.
Tough new rules are being rolled out in the United States for workers who refuse a COVID-19 vaccine. They include mandatory vaccinations or testing for some and disciplinary actions for others who do not comply. Al Jazeera's Shahib Ratansi has more.
Good evening, my fellow Americans.
Joe Biden announced a 6-point plan to deal with COVID-19, what the White House called a path out of the pandemic.
If we implement them, I believe, and the scientists indicate, that the months ahead we can reduce the number of unvaccinated Americans, decrease hospitalizations and deaths, and allow our children to go to school safely and keep our economy strong by keeping businesses open.
Federal employees will no longer have the option of regular testing instead of vaccination. They and government contractors will have 75 days to get vaccinated or face disciplinary action. All 17 million healthcare workers who work at institutions that receive federal funding will have to be vaccinated. All employers with workforces over 100 must ensure their employees are vaccinated or regularly tested or face a $14,000 fine for each violation. 300,000 teachers who take part in federal programs will have to be vaccinated, and the president urged states to insist on vaccinated staff in their schools. In all, it's estimated that up to 2/3 of the U.S. workforce may be affected by the plan. However, legal and union challenges may delay some of the provisions. The Washington Post reported that the U.S. Postal Service would be exempt from the mandate, some 500,000 people. But this wasn't just a clinical outline of the administration's aspirations. Throughout his address, the president chided the 25% of Americans who have yet to get vaccinated.
Over 200 million Americans have gotten at least one shot. We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin, and your refusal has cost all of us.
The polls show that a majority of Americans are blaming the unvaccinated for continuing pandemic restrictions, but they also show waning confidence in the president's handling of the pandemic. This was a clear attempt to firm up his base and a clear message: it's not my fault.
What you heard from President Biden today was clearly the growing frustration that we have the tools, we have the science, we have the incentives, and yet we're not seeing necessarily the behavior that we would hope from a large minority of the population.
An all-American summer.
But critics contend the Biden administration has been confusing the public with its messaging. For example, it was Joe Biden who announced a summer free of COVID in early June and held a large July 4th party at the White House to prove it, just as the Delta variant was taking hold in the country. Since that announcement, daily infections have risen by some 300%. There is no doubt that more Americans have to be vaccinated if the U.S. is to return to any normality. But studies show a variety of reasons for vaccine hesitancy. Some say it's because of a distrust for the U.S. government that has misled the public so many times in the past. Others because of their political hatred of Joe Biden. It will be interesting to see whether Biden's approach in this speech will now win them over.
Get vaccinated.
Shia Bratansi, Al Jazeera, Washington.
And internationally, a serious outbreak of dengue fever has taken hold in India's most populous state of Uttar Pradesh. More than 100 people, many of them children, are known to have died in the past 2 weeks. Al Jazeera's correspondent Elizabeth Puranam reports.
desperate parents carry their children to this hospital in Firozabad in Uttar Pradesh state. For the past 2 weeks, it has been inundated with children suffering from high temperatures and other symptoms of dengue fever. Mohammed Azim's 6-month-old daughter Anya has tested positive for the mosquito-borne virus. He says his 3-year-old nephew Atif has also been unwell.
She has had a fever for several days and has been taking medicines. When her condition didn't improve, I brought her here, but it took more than 3 hours for them to look at her. It is difficult for a common man to have access to doctors here.
Most of those who have died from dengue fever in the past 2 weeks are children.
Definitely patients are coming here. Most are in the pediatric age group, and all are presenting, maximum patients are presenting with fever, diarrhea, dysentery, abdominal pain.
Cases of the virus usually rise during the monsoon season in tropical climates, but health officials say the outbreak is particularly bad this year. Municipal workers are spraying chemicals to kill mosquitoes in the Sundarmanagar neighborhood. Pushpendra lost his 6-year-old son Krishna to the dengue virus.
There are a lot of children who are sick in our neighborhood. Some have dengue, some have fever. Half of the children from here are in hospital. Just recently, a child right opposite our house was admitted. 2 children who lived around us have died.
Dengue is transmitted by mosquitoes which breed in and around stagnant water.
In many parts of Firozabad, people live next to open drains, and in more than 1/3 of homes in Indian cities, wastewater is released from the house through an open drainage system.
Health experts say the drains are a breeding ground for diseases, but that spraying isn't a long-term solution. They say the government needs to do more. Firozabad's chief medical officer told Al Jazeera the worst of the outbreak is over, but that wasn't the picture at the city's biggest children's hospital. Elizabeth Puranam, Al Jazeera, Firozabad, Uttar Pradesh.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. And that is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. Tune in on Monday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.